Good morning Internet, this is Supper and welcome to another episode of Strategos, our weekly tips and tactics show. Today we will talk about Adeptus Mechanicus War Convocation. This is very interesting formation because it consists of units from 3 different codices. Let's take a look at it. As you can see, we are taking here units from Cult Mechanicus Battle Congregation Detachment, from Skitari Battle Manipul and Imperial Knights Oathsworn Detachment. As it goes for special rules, of course you can reroll Warlord traits from Cult Mechanicus if the Tech Priest Dominus is your Warlord, but we are interested in 2 other rules mainly. All units in this formation have the Canticles of the Old Messiah. This is a very special rule, only for Cult Mechanicus normally, but in this way you can give it to your Imperial Knight, you can give it to your Skitari and even fortifications, but we'll get to this later. And all weapons and war gear options taken by units in this formation, including any relics of Mars or Arcana Mechanicum, are free. Furthermore, all weapons with Gets Hot special rule carried by a model in this formation no longer has the Gets Hot special rule. This is very important, both of these rules, and we'll get to this later. Most obviously, this rule about free weapon and war gear and relics are the thing that is already very loud in the internet, but I don't think this is the main strong point in this formation. But as I said already, we'll get to this later. From Cult Mechanicus Battle Congregation you can take compulsory 1 HQ and 2 troops from Cult Mechanicus Codex, of course, and optional 6 additional troops, 4 elites, 2 heavy support and 1 fortification. Of course, if your Warlord is from this detachment, you can reroll Cult Mechanicus Warlord traits. And if this detachment is part of your army, you can use one of the Canticles twice per battle. Oathsworn detachment is the basic knight detachment, where you can have 1 to 3 Lords of War, of course Imperial Knights. There are no special rules for them. If we're talking now about Skitari Battle Manipul, because Skitari Manipul is detachment, Skitari Battle Manipul is formation. Formation that consists of 1 unit of Vanguard, 1 unit of Rangers, 1 unit of Sikaran Rust Stalkers, 1 unit of Sikaran Infiltrators, 1 unit of Synodian Dragoon or 1 unit of Iron Strider Ballistari. You can choose one of these units, and 1 unit of Onegar Dune Crawler. Of course, if you got Warlord from this detachment, you can reroll Warlord traits from Codex Skitari, but besides that, your Warlord have got Preferred Enemy special rule. Besides that, all models from this formation have the Crusader and Scout special rules. Units from this formation cannot outflank you the Scout special rule, but can do as a result of different special rule, such as Infiltrator and Mission special rule. So these are the special rules for detachments. Remember that the special rules from both detachments, I mean from War Convocation and the detachments that are part of the War Convocation, stack. So if you can use Canticles double times, 1 of them, and as well have Warlord with Preferred Enemy, which is quite nice stuff. If you will decide to use this formation as a minimal one, you will have to pay 1,330 points for it. This will be the main force of our army. I decided to create this army without any other allies or any other detachments. Besides that, to use it as a Highlander. So there is only one. I decided to use Tech Priest Dominus because this is obviously necessary, Cataphron Breachers and Cataphron Destroyers. This is 2 units from the Troops Choice from Cult Mechanicus. From Knights I decided to use Night Warden because of his Gatling Cannon and ability to strike in hand-to-hand combat as well. As additional weapon I decided to give him Storm Spear Rocket Pod. Why this? Because I want to use him as, first of all, as the thing that will take enemy firepower. Second of all, as a unit that will be able to act against MSUs. With his Gatling Cannon and rocket launcher and multi-gun, he will be able to destroy 2 to 3 small vehicles per turn. This is very strong ability. From Skitari there is not much choice to what to take. Of course, Skitari Vanguard and Skitari Rangers. I decided to take this as big units as it can be. I mean 10 models of Skitari Vanguard and 10 models of Skitari Rangers. Seeker and Rust Stalkers to take as small as possible, and Infiltrators as big as possible. We will get to this why later. From Dragoons or Ballistary I decided to take 1 Ballistary and a single Onagar Dune Crawler. If we're talking about upgrades, you can choose whatever you want because this is not the most important thing with it. I would like this formation to consist of few different hard hitting units. This is not MSU, this is not a Death Star army. I want to be clear, this is not going to be the top tier army, but with huge versatility. We will be able to make very interesting battle with this formation. So, besides the units that I told you about, I would like to take the Bastion, because I can. What is most interesting about it, the Bastion will be a unit with Canticles of the Omnissiah. Why? Because this is a unit, and in the Adeptus Mechanicus War Convocation, every unit have the Canticles. Now let's get to the trick. In this formation, all of your units from other codices have got Canticles. This is the most important thing, and I will tell you why. The Canticles of the Omnissiah is the rule that allows your army, units from your army, to receive some bonuses. And these are depend of how many units with Canticles you actually have got on the table. So you can use it to gain Stubborn if you got 1 to 3 units. If you got 4 to 7, Stubborn plus reroll, fail, morale, pinning, and few tests. And if you got 8 or more units, all of these units are fearless. With the same brackets, I mean 1 to 3, 4 to 7, and 8 plus, you can have reroll 2 hits in close combat of 1 or 2, or all failed hits in close combat. You can have the same idea but with shooting hits. You can have stealth, shrouded, or stealth and shrouded. You can add to the strength +1, +2, or +3. And, which is very interesting, you have the rule that allows you to strike enemy units with initiative 10 at strength 4 and AP dash. I like to think about this formation as a kind of a meta buster. Why? Because it has got something against everyone, but a skilled enemy can get rid of these abilities. I like to give my destroyers Ghost Craft Cannons and put them into the Bastion. Bastion can have quad autocannon. This is free as well. So now you know how does it look if we're talking about units that are part of this formation and the special rule. The very interesting things about this are 2 main rules of the formation. First, the free stuff, thanks to which you can deploy 2200 points army in 1850 game. But some of these upgrades are really important and will make your units work totally different way, while the other ones are just the cosmetics because you can, so you add them. You can add there something about 500 additional points, but in normal battle you wouldn't upgrade it that much, mostly by 300 maybe points. So let's look at it this way, that you got 2200 point army in 1850 game. Thanks to the canticles on units from outside the Cult Mechanicus Codex, we've got some very interesting combinations. First of all, we can have Imperial Knight and Bastion, because formation is a unit, so it gets the canticles. We've got Imperial Knight and Bastion with Shrouded and Stealth on one game turn, for example. This is interesting. You can give Knight or some other units rerolling for shots. You can then give them rerolling for combat, but these are not the most interesting ones. The most interesting ones are two close combat canticles from Cult Mechanicus. First one that lets you upgrade the strength of your unit, and the second one that lets you give 3 automatic hits against the enemy. Thanks for both of these units, this formation can be a kind of a meta-buster unit, meta-buster formation. Why? Because we're using, for example, infiltrators that with proper armament have got strength 6. With canticles they can get up to 9 strength in initiative. Each of these guys have 2 attacks, 3 from weapons combination and 4 for charge, and every 6 on hitting is 2 additional hits with strength 9. Full units of these guys can get you 40 hits and even more than this because of the 6s with strength 9. It will destroy Right Knight, it will destroy Imperial Knight, it will destroy anything. Besides that, if we're talking about, and what is most interesting, if it attacks invisible unit, it will still get some 30 hits. Why? Because of a skull of something. I don't remember exactly now. This is the relic of Skitari that gives Zealot to the unit. So this is very interesting. And if you fight against invisible unit, this is not the most interesting stuff. The most interesting stuff are the free hits. If you will be able to attack any invisible unit with 10 infiltrators and 2 other units, for example Vanguard and Rangers, each unit of 10 models, you will be able to give this unit, which already have got decreased weapon skill, ballistic skill, initiative, leadership and toughness by 1 because of Skitari Vanguard and infiltrators. You can give them up to 90 automatic hits with strength 4. 90, not 19. But, as I told, we've got there Bastion, in which we can put Cataphron destroyers with heavy grav cannons, which will give us tremendous board control. We can take Night Warden with Storm Spear rocket pod, which gives us 12 shots from Gatling gun, 3 straight 8 AP3 shots from rockets, and for example melta gun, because these are all for free. Okay, which gives him the ability to destroy 3 light vehicles a turn. This is MSU Buster. Okay, so we have something against close combat units. We can have something against invisible Death Stars. We can have something against MSUs. Besides that, we can deploy this army in Highlander. It's just that we take Cataphron Breachers and Cataphron Destroyers from Cult Mechanicus. Okay, so we've got Tempest Dominus, Breachers, Destroyers, Night Warden, Vanguard, Rangers, Rust Stalkers, Infiltrators, Dragon, Dune Clover, Bastion. Enough. And that's all. 3 detachments in one. Highlander rules, so you can have there only one of each choice. And very strong combinations. The main weakness of this army is the fact that most of its units are quite fragile. Toughness 4, 4 plus save, this is not too tough. But we've got their Bastion, in which we can hide some unit. We've got Knight. Our enemy will have to decide what is he going to choose to fight against. And with loads of special rules, we've got lots of flexibility after enemy destroys some units to still get the fight where we want to. We have to remember that besides the fact that this is very fragile, this will be the main force of your army, because the minimal army, the minimal formation is 1350, 1330, something about that. So if you would like to make it some units bigger, because of course the worker is free, but if you'd like to make some units bigger, maybe some more units from the cultist, cult mechanicus, maybe some better knight, you will have to pay for it. Okay, so most of the time this will be your only detachment. Maybe you can add there some small detachment like Inquisition or maybe some Assassin, which won't be a bad choice. So these are 2 main things that decide about the fact that this is not the top tier army. Okay, playing with it would be a real fun, it would be a real challenge, and I would love to see faces of some of top players with the top typical armies like Centurion Star, like Wolf Star, like jet bikes, like Imperial Knights, like Raid Knights, with the army that took loads of stuff that is very points effective, but concentrated only on one target. And with this army you can easily beat them. And of course, if you're going to play against a very good player, he will find weaknesses in this army and he will most probably crush you, because as I said, this is not a top tier army. But you can have real fun with it, and you can get lots of victories from this detachment. And it will be it for today. Next week we'll talk about Space Marine Codex. This is not going to be a review. I will talk a little bit about the interesting stuff I found in it, and maybe a little bit about the changes between this and the last one. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please click the appropriate button. If you didn't, write in comments below why and what can I do to improve. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now for more awesome content like Weekly Loot, our weekly news show, or 40k tournament reports from Polish scene. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.